Hello, my name is Dr. Dewan S. Raja. Today I will discuss about the histology of the lymph node. Here we have a low magnification section of a lymph node. We'll identify these structures, then we'll go in details about this, these structures. So number one is the capsule. This is connective tissue capsule. This is composed of dense, irregular connective tissue. Okay, this is the connective tissue capsule. This capsule covers the entire lymph node. Then we get the cortex. This part is the cortex. Cortex contains the lymphatic nodules, and the cortex is divided by the connective tissue septa, not very much homogeneously, but it is partially divided by connective tissue septa in between the nodules. These are the lymphatic nodules here. Okay, we got that. Then we'll go to the paracortex outside the lymphatic nodule, and between the medulla and cortex we have the paracortical area. This is the paracortical area. This is the medulla of the lymph node, and from the connective tissue we'll get some trabeculae. Trabeculae go inside the cortex, and we have the subcapsular sinus underneath the capsule. We have also trabecular sinus. That sinus will be continuous with that of the medullary sinuses. And the medulla has the medullary sinus and medullary cords. Okay, so we may also get some trabeculae inside the medulla, but it is mostly seen in the cortical region. Okay, but extension of trabecule is also also seen here. Okay, so let us summarize again. So what are the identifying point? The connective tissue capsule that is composed of dense irregular connective tissue. We have subcapsular sinus. We have trabeculae. Trabeculae is also continuous with that of the subcapsular sinus. We have trabecular sinus. Their sinus will continuous with the medullary sinus. In the cortex, we have the lymphatic nodule, and we have just deep to the cortex, we have the paracortex. Then this is the medulla. It contains the medullary cords. This is medullary cord. Medullary cord is here. These are the medullary sinus. Okay, so if you go here to see the schematic diagram of a lymph node, the lymph node looks like a bean. Okay, it is convex surface and concave surface. In the concave surface, we have the hilum of the lymph node, and we have, if we cut a lymph node, we'll get outside lymphatic nodule containing part is the cortex. Then we'll get the paracortex area. Then this is the medulla. This is the medulla here, and we should have capsule outside the lymph node, and efferent lymphatic vessels are passing through the capsule to the subcapsular sinus, and that is continuous with that of the trabecular sinus, that is continuous with that of the medullary sinuses. In the cortex, we have the lymphatic nodule. Central part of the lymphatic nodule is light colored because it is the site of production of the B lymphocytes, and the cell population is less here. This is called germinal center. T lymphocytes are usually present at the periphery and also in the paracortex. And we have the blood supply here. The artery goes there. Artery makes a capillary in the lymphatic nodule and return back through the vein, through the hilum. And we have the efferent lymphatic vessel, multiple. Efferent lymphatic vessel is guarded by the valve system. This is the valve system here, valve, another valve. We have one efferent vessel, lymphatic vessel, that is also guarded by the valve. So valve mechanism is present in the lymphatic ducts. Okay, so this is the part of the cortex. We are looking at the capsule. Again, the capsule is composed of dense irregular connective tissue. Outside the capsule, we are seeing some fatty tissue, adipose tissue, the signaling appearance of the fat cell here. This is the adipose tissue here. This is the dense connective tissue. This is the subcapsular sinus. In the subcapsular sinus, the afferent lymphatic vessel is open there, and subcapsular sinus is composed of the reticular fiber, reticular cell, and macrophages, and also it contains the antigen presenting cell, or APC. Here is present subcapsular sinus. Subcapsular sinus is continuous with that of the trabecular sinus going to the medullary sinus. Here is the lymphatic nodule. So is there any antigenic stimulation? There will be proliferation of the lymphocyte in the central part of the lymphatic nodule. We call it germinal center. Okay, it is usually seen in case of infection or any type of antigenic stimulation. Okay, there we'll get the germinal center. So again, this is a dense connective tissue, subcapsular sinus, lymphatic nodule. It may contain the germinal center. Okay, this is trabeculae. We have also trabecular sinus. Okay, we got capsule that is composed of dense connective tissue, irregular subcapsular sinus that contains the reticular cell, macrophage, antigen presenting cell. We also get some here scattered endothelial cell. Okay, here this is the image of a medulla. This is medulla of the lymph node. Okay, medulla of the lymph node will get two important structure. One is the medullary cord. This is medullary cord. It is composed of B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. Okay, certainly every part of the lymph node will have reticular cell, reticular fiber. This is the medullary sinus. Medullary sinus is containing the macrophage and neutrophil. So medullary cord contains the B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, and also the plasma cells. So if you go to the highlight area, we'll get the appearance of the plasma cell. Here is the plasma cell. Plasma cell, the nucleus is located at the periphery, eccentric nucleus. Cytoplasm is usually more than that of an average lymphocyte. Okay, there is the plasma cell. Plasma cells are formed from the B lymphocyte, and plasma cell will produce the antibodies. Antibodies, the function of the plasma cell to produce antibody. Okay, we have multiple macrophages here. Okay, we have the macrophages. We have the plasma cells. We are seeing the plasma cells here. Okay, we have multiple lymphocyte. Lymphocyte has maximum lymph. Lymphocyte has maximum nucleus. At the periphery of the nucleus, we have just thin part of cytoplasm. So in our histological slide, the lymphocyte cell always give the violet color, especially in the hematoxylin eosin stain. Okay, so we have to know some medical applications with that of the lymph node. One term is called metastatic cancer cell. This is a malignant cancer, or the or the or the cancer cell. The cancer cell may proliferate in the primary site, then it is dislodged and it enters the lymphatic channel. It may go to the lymph node, again it will be proliferated in the lymph node. So lymph node may be enlarged due to any infection. Suppose a child or an adolescent boy has tonsillitis, his jugulodigestic lymph node will be enlarged. A person with tuberculosis, his lymph node may be enlarged. Lymphoma is a condition. It is a malignant condition of the lymph node. It may be Hodgkin's lymphoma. It may be non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay, so it may involve the spleen and other lymphoid structure plus the lymph nodes. Lymphadenopathy, enlargement of the lymph. It may be a complication of chronic infection. It may be a complication of the cancer. Okay, we got that. So metastasis means that dislodgement of a cancer cell from a primary site of cancer to the lymph node and that proliferation in the lymph node. It is very important to understand that metastasis. So based on that, a lot of classification of the tumor or cancer is described like TNM classification, tumor node metastasis classification, based on the metastatic status of the cancer. Okay, so we have some Viva question. What are the identifying points of a lymph node slide? Yes, we have the cortex, we have the paracortex, then capsule around the lymph node. As a whole, lymph node looks like a bean-shaped appearance, convex, and also in this one concave part that is called the hilum of the lymph node. The lymphatic nodules are present in the cortex, and if there is an infection or antigenic stimulation, then it will proliferate the B lymphocyte there. We call it germinal center. What are the functions of lymph node? It is for the filtration of the lymph. Plus, it produces the B lymphocyte. From their B lymphocyte, we'll get the plasma cell, we'll get the antibody. What is paracortex? Paracortex surround the lymphatic nodule and it contains mostly the T lymphocyte or T helper cells. Okay, T helper lymphocytes. What is HEB? That is the high endothelial venule. Okay, that is associated with that of the paracortex, and the lymphocyte from the blood enters the paracortex through the HEV, that is high endothelial venule. What is present in the medullary cord? Okay, medullary cord contains the T lymphocyte, B lymphocyte, plasma cells. What is present in the medullary sinus? Medullary sinus contains the macrophage neutrophils, and medullary sinus is the final filter for the lymphatics. Lymphatics will go out from the medullary sinus to reach the efferent lymphatic vessel. What is the importance of subcapsular sinus? Subcapsular sinus is present under the capsule and it contains macrophages and antigen presenting cells. So that is very important to process the lymph, and it is going to the medulla and cortex for further action of other cells like macrophages, plasma cells, and also the dendritic cells. What are the functions of lymph node? Yes, we know that the function, we just discussed that part, filtration of the lymph. What are the clinical application of lymph node? We have the term metastasis, lymphadenopathy, enlarged lymph node. Okay, and that's all about the histology of the lymph node. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me, and have a nice day. Bye now.